Hey everybody, it's Michael from GetFitOver40.com. Happy New Year. A little bit late, but I did want to talk about some do's and don'ts, so New Year's resolution tips for 2016. And before I get started, I do want to mention that this is written down. I'm going to be hitting my highlights here, but I potentially will miss some very important information that I've written down. I don't always get it word for word, actually far from it when I discuss it on video. So there will be a link in the description of this video where you can go to my blog over at GetFitOver40.com and read this out. It'll probably be a lot better explained than what I'm going to do on video. But that said, there will be some little bits that I don't add in here on the video, so you might get a little bit out of both of them. So I do have 10 basic tips. Most of them are do's, some of them are don'ts. Let's get it started. Okay, the first tip I have is it never ends. So if you think that you're going to get in shape, you're going to train for 3-4 months or 2 months or whatever, lose that 10 pounds you gained over Christmas or the holidays or whatever, and then you're just going to be good to go for the rest of the time. You can go right back to your normal thing. Well, I'm sorry, but that's a huge mistake a lot of people make. Sure, you're probably going to lose the 10 pounds. Depending on how quickly you do it, you're probably going to gain that 10 pounds back just as quick. So, and then sometimes even more, right? Your body has a tendency to rebound from either gaining or losing weight really quickly, okay? So, well, usually not the gaining weight, unless you worked really hard putting that weight on through putting on muscle, then you can lose that muscle just as quick, if not quicker, than you gained it. Same goes for, if you lose fat, you'll gain it back really quick. Your body just generally wants to rebound or snap the other way. So basically, it never ends. It's a lifelong thing. If you're going to do this, I suggest either do it as basically a new health and fitness lifestyle. Do something that's obtainable. Don't be so quick to the gun that you're going to try and drop 10 pounds in 1 month or whatever. Take your time about it, make some lifestyle choices, and continue doing this the long run. Okay, number 2, have a plan and be realistic. So you cannot just simply say, I'm going to eat better, I'm going to work out more, I'm going to just do this gym thing, I'm going to go and do it. If you don't have a plan, if you don't have it written down on paper, if you haven't really given it some serious thought, then you're just basically setting yourself up again for failure, because you really need to put your plan on paper. You need to figure out, okay, this is what I want to do. I want to lose X amount of weight. I want to gain X amount of muscle. Perhaps, whatever your goals are, set a plan in motion. Start simple, something that you can do, and then build on that plan. And that plan shouldn't just be, what you're going to do in terms of working out, but it should be what you're going to do in terms of eating, right? It's got to be twofold. You got to have your eating plan, you got to have your training plan, and you got to look at that plan on paper daily and, basically to remind yourself what your goals really are. Again, make sure that it's realistic. I just wanted to make sure that it's got to be realistic, and doing it in stages is vital because your body isn't going to be used to it at first. So you got to do it in stages and build on that. Number 3, set goals. So I really am a strong believer in setting goals. Again, it's kind of like the plan thing is, partially due to the plan, but you want to set goals. Like, how much weight do I want to lose? And sometimes you can have a time frame, sometimes not. We'll talk about that in a bit. How much weight potentially do I want to lose? What size of clothing do I want to fit into? Do I want to be able to see my abs again? Do I just want to be in better condition or have a better health so I can play with my kids? Things like that. Or for a lot of guys, I want to gain X amount more muscle. I want to put on muscle. Those are some goals people have. So definitely set goals for yourself. And depending on what type of person you are, sometimes having a timeline is going to help you get there, so that you get to your goals. But that's not the most important thing. The timeline isn't as important as actually getting to that goal. And for some people, if you have a timeline, that comes and goes, and it can be a discouragement for you. So don't get caught up in the timeline. It's not a bad thing to have one, but again, remember, it's not the focus. If it comes and goes, but you're well on your way to that goal, then don't worry about it. All right. Make rewards for yourself. So I like to, sometimes it's just as simple as, hey, I'm going to eat really healthy. I'm going to eat I'm going to eat my calorie limits, whatever they are, or eat certain foods this week and stay away from these foods. Could be just that simple. You're not counting calories, but you're going to stay away from sugars, pops, fatty foods, eat more vegetables, eat more meat, things like that. And let's say you do that Monday through, or even Sunday through Friday. Give yourself a reward at the end of the week. have a cheat meal, you know, go out and have that greasy burger. If that's something you've been craving all week, you've been good all week, you know, as long as you were good and you kept your food a lot better than it normally is, that one meal is not going to hurt you. And in a lot of cases, if you did really well during the week, you can even have a full-on cheat day. I do that quite often, but you know, my cheat days, I don't take advantage of it. I just make it a cheat day where I'm not so worried about my calories and macros, and you know, I try not to obviously overindulge, but I'm not too worried about it on those days. So definitely, sometimes just having a cheat meal or cheat day is a cool thing. That's a good thing to do. So now, other things you can do is things like plan vacations, right? So that would be your sort of all-time goal, the end of your journey. When you finally get to where you want to go, you can have this big reward, like maybe a vacation, or maybe you've been waiting to buy a motorbike or some other thing. Maybe it could be something as simple as an awesome pair of headphones, right? Those are cool goals. Other little intermediary goals could be things like clothing. Once you get to, say, a certain size or waist size or whatever, you can go out and buy yourself a new set of clothing, not necessarily a whole set, but maybe a few items, like some matching items, maybe some pants and a shirt, maybe a jacket, things like that, right? Yes, you will have to diet. So a lot of people are under the impression that simply by just going to the gym, working out, they're just going to magically lose all kinds of weight or magically gain, you know, muscle, right? But it's actually a very twofold situation. In a lot of ways, the eating is more important than the actual working out, especially when dieting or trying to lose fat. So keep that in mind, because you can so easily go to the gym, do a great workout in an hour, burn 500 or 600 calories, but on the way home, you stop by the donut shop, have a donut, you know, or a couple donuts, and a coffee with sugar and cream, and boom, all those calories you just burned off, you just ate back that easily, right? So, and a lot of times when you do train or you work out or you do exercise, your appetite is going to increase. So if you can't manage what you're eating and you have an increased appetite, you're not going to be any further ahead in terms of weight loss, right? And the same can be said about trying to gain muscle. If you're not eating the right kinds of foods, you're not getting enough carbs, you're not getting enough protein, and at the right times, you know, making sure you're on track that way, then you're potentially not going to get as good results from the weight training. Okay, so it's very important that you watch your diet, whether you're bulking, cutting, dieting, maintaining, whatever it happens to be. All right, now just going to the gym, again, is not enough. So again, the eating is important, but what's just as important as going to the gym and training is your intensity, okay? So I see so many people at the gym just going through the motions. It really is. It's just, oh, they're there. In their head, they're at the gym. If they're there and they're doing something, then they must be getting some benefits from it. But to be honest, I see a lot of people at the gym and they're really not getting, I wouldn't say getting any benefits, but the benefits are so limited by what they're doing because they're not pushing themselves. They're not getting themselves out of their comfort zone, right? Their bodies aren't used to exerting much force. So at the gym, that's their thing. They don't want to exert too much force. You need to come out of that comfort zone and push harder than you're used to. Now, that doesn't mean you jump right into the craziest, heaviest weights and kill yourself from the get-go, but you need to increase the load, increase the intensity every workout. And yes, it's hard, and yes, it's not comfortable, and yes, it doesn't feel good at first. You might even get sick at first because your body is so not used to it. But over time, you become used to it. You become used to going out of your comfort zone, to being intense, and your body creates chemicals that make you feel good. I mean, they offset the bad feeling because it's like a euphoric feeling by working out. When I work out, when I'm done my workout, even if I hated to go there, even if it was a bad day and I didn't want to go and I was tired and my mind was telling me, no, you don't want to do this. At the end of that workout, even on those horrible days, I feel so good, not just because I did it, but my body just feels refreshed and invigorated. So that's something to look forward to. You've got to be intense at the gym, otherwise you're wasting your time. All right. Keep the drive alive. Now, what was I meaning in this one? Yes. So basically, at some point, you may lose focus on your working out. You know, maybe your routine is getting boring or whatnot, or your results are slowing down because at first you're going to have these great results and then they slow down. Everybody plateaus at a certain point. Sometimes you have to break through those plateaus. Sometimes you'll just get to this plateau where nothing seems to change for such a long time, and that can be very disappointing. That can kind of really kill it for you, right? So what do I do in those situations? Well, I like to watch other people that motivate me. So there's a lot of people out there. There's a lot of YouTubers and just people on the internet. I'll watch their videos, and a lot of times it's people that are safe. Like, I'm into men's physique, I'm into body sculpting. I like to watch other people who make those types of videos. I like to watch powerlifting videos too. Guys that aren't necessarily crazy strong, but are like, you know, maybe my build, but they're stronger than me. They've got these crazy squats and deadlifts and things, because I like doing those compound movements. So when I watch people who are stronger than me and doing better, it drives me to want to be like that. So I watch those people because I don't want to be them, but I want to make a better version of me. I want to become a better person, stronger person, someone who's more skilled in the gym, all of those things. So that's one thing that I like to do that keeps me motivated. I like to listen to upbeat music, because in the gym, you know, it helps me get going, helps me get those extra few reps. So upbeat music. Another thing that you might find kind of silly, but it's a real simple thing, is wear clothing that you just think, you know, you feel good in, right? So if I'm just going into the gym in a bunch of baggy, dirty sweatpants and a torn up shirt, I don't feel that good. I like to wear clothes that I feel good in when I'm at the gym. So find something that flatters you. Go out and buy some new clothes for the gym. Feel good in your clothes. That's going to make you want to go there a little bit more. I know it's kind of, very... what's the word I'm looking for? Maybe it's selfish or whatever you want to call it, but that's okay. Whatever gets you going, right? All right. Stop comparing yourself. Kind of going back to this other topic I touched upon, you got to be the best version of yourself, not somebody else, okay? So don't compare yourself to anyone else. There's nobody else exactly like that person that you're comparing yourself to, and there's nobody else exactly like you. You each have your own different qualities, good qualities and bad qualities, things that that are strong about you, things that are weak about you. And if you want to be just like a certain person, that's never going to happen. It's going to be super disappointing. So get off of that train for sure. What you want to do is you want to focus on your strengths and help them keep you motivated, and help those strengths that you have keep you confident, right? They encourage you. And then what you really want to do is take your weaknesses and just work the crap out of those areas, because those are the areas that need the most time, right? You need to focus on those areas the most. So you'll see a lot of people in the gym, like this is very typical, and they're doing bench and biceps because they want the big chest, they want the big biceps and arms, but they spend very little time on their legs because they don't feel they're a strong area. They don't like working legs. It takes work. But if they were to work those legs, right, all of a sudden their legs are going to become a strong point. If they just continue to work their chest and arms, their legs are going to get smaller and smaller in comparison to their growing arms and chest, right? So it's going to look silly. So you need to work those weak areas even more, but take confidence and strength in your stronger areas. Okay. Now, New Year's isn't only the time to make a commitment. If anything, New Year's is probably the worst time of the year to start going to the gym. It's chaotic. People in there are insane. You've got so many people who are new. They don't know the gym etiquette. So trying to get on equipment can be very frustrating. There's people that are just completely, not in the program. So it's really the wrong time of year to start doing that, because it's going to be frustrating, not only for the gym goers, but for the newbies, right? Because they're trying to fit in. They don't know what to do, right? All of those things. So, if you've fallen off because maybe some of those reasons, or because maybe you haven't implemented any of these points yet, and you just didn't have a plan or whatever, and things have not happened the way you wanted them to, take a little break, whatever. It's not imperative that you start today, but make a plan. Maybe plan to start in February, but make a plan. Use these tips and try it again, right? It's so important that you have a plan, and that you make it a plan that you can follow. So, and that plan might be staying away from the January workout time, right? And there's really no bad time. I mean, you can make it happen any time of the year. January is just a little bit more complicated, but after January, February, March, things start to slow down in the gym and get back to normal. So that might be a better time for you to start your program. Be accountable. Okay, so what I mean by this is you want to be accountable, you don't want to say, I'm going to do this, I'm going to go to the gym, I'm going to get in better shape, but don't tell anybody. If you don't tell anybody, if you don't make it real, then in a way it isn't real. You're giving yourself that escape escape route, okay? Because you're just kind of keeping it hush hush. What if I fail? No one will know. No big deal. If you tell all your best buddies, you tell your friends, you get on your social media, you say, this is what I'm doing. Hey, if you don't see me doing these things, you start giving me crap, okay? I want to hear back from you guys because I want to make this happen. Then you become more accountable, right? Find a workout partner, okay? That's another good thing. Find somebody who has similar goals as you and work out with them, and try and, at least 2 or 3 times a week you guys get together and you work out and you encourage each other. Another way, and this will get a little bit into something I want to talk to you about at the end, but even a personal trainer. Now, yes, it costs money, but the advantage to a personal trainer, now the most important thing here is you got to find the right one for you. Don't just go out and hire anybody. Do a little bit of research. Find somebody that has similar ideas as you. Find somebody who isn't necessarily just going to throw you on their program, or like I see a lot of trainers putting people on these crazy CrossFit programs. I don't know if that's good for everybody. Maybe it is good for some, but you got to find a trainer that's going to be able to put you in a program that you can do that you like, right? It's got to be something you like, not something they like. It's got to be something that works for you. So do your research. But what a trainer can offer you is accountability, but they can also get you that. They can also help you maximize your workout. I mean, again, I see people doing so many wrong things in the gym. Sometimes it's low intensity. Sometimes it's just poor, it's just poor workout ethics. Sometimes they're just doing everything wrong, right? So if you have the proper trainer, someone who's going to motivate you, someone who's going to get you to the point where you're doing everything right a lot quicker, your results are going to be so much better, okay? So, if you can afford it, if that personal trainer, if they work out for you, if they're the right match for you, then definitely consider it, okay? So getting to my last point, this isn't actually a point. This is me talking about what I do, which is some online personal training. I do want to mention that I have a New Year's special. Normally I have basically it's a 6-week program, and the reason I do a 6 weeks program is I was doing longer programs and shorter programs, and I found that 6 weeks is a window that just seems to work. I can get people, I can work with that person, I can work with their diet, I can work with their training program, we can tweak little things, we can get them to the point where after 6 weeks, I feel that they can go on their own. If they haven't basically committed to that point and they're not in a routine and they're not doing it, then more than likely they're not going to continue on. And going any longer is just a waste of their money. I hate to say it, but it is. I've had people hire me for 6 months, and after 1 month, they're not even responding to my emails. They've just completely zoned out. And that's not good for anybody. I don't want that. I'd rather do a 6-week program and have a happy customer, a happy client at the end of the day. And same goes. Some people, they get a shorter window. They maybe just did a month, and then they don't go any further. And I feel that a couple more weeks would have just been better. We would have had them more self-sufficient at the end. So what do I do with my clients? Again, I work on their diet. I don't necessarily do a complete overhaul. I see what they're eating. I like to make little tweaks. I like to keep people. I don't have these crazy diets. I look at macros, and if their macros are working out, if they're getting the right calories and the right different macros, so proteins, carbs, and fats, then whatever they're eating, I just leave it at that, okay? We just tweak some of the food so that they fit their macros that's going to work for them, that works for the program. When it comes to training, if they have a training program already, we stick with that. I will make suggestions, based on what they're trying to do. If they're trying to build certain areas, I will help them out with adding some exercises. I'll even program in complete workouts if that's what's needed. So again, we do a lot of this online through online programs that I have. There's a lot of communication back and forth, and in that 6 weeks, I'm completely there to correspond with my clients anytime that they need me. So, all right, that's pretty much it. I'm going to put my email on the screen here for you guys. So if you want to contact me for my online personal training, can't remember if I even told you how much it was. Normally it's about, I think it's $159 for 6 weeks. I'm doing a special, New Year's special, $129 US for 6 weeks. So if you're interested in that, I will be taking a limited number of clients. So contact me at mike@getfitover40.com. And hopefully I hear from you. All right, thanks for watching another GetFitOver40.com video. Until next time, take care.